Hello and welcome to the CoStar News Hotels podcast. I'm Trevor Simpson, staff writer with CoStar News Hotels, and I'm here today with Greg Doman, Chief Development Officer at Virgin Hotels Collection. Greg, how are you doing?
I'm good, Trevor. How are you? Good
I'm
to be
doing
here.
great, yeah.
Appreciate you having us.
Yeah, no problem. So to start with, we're chatting on day 2 of NYU IHIF. Any broad takeaways that you've gleaned from sessions you've sat in on or just conversations you had with people?
Great question. I just got off a panel, so very interesting panel. I would tell you people are cautiously optimistic.
Yeah.
I've done a few of these. It does seem like there's a little bit of a Groundhog Day kind of theme going through the conferences.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping that things will get more active on the transaction front, and hopefully also on the development front, ground up construction.
Yeah. It's like the tenor stays the same, but the messaging also, or
everyone's always positive.
Yeah, everyone's always positive, but the different challenges change from conference to conference, but the same message of cautious optimism stays the same.
Correct.
Yeah.
I think the bid-ask spread is narrowing
in
terms of what buyers and sellers are expecting. So obviously our business, we see a lot of opportunities when transaction activity picks up.
Right.
And when it's dormant, it's more challenging. And then, of course, well, I'm sure we'll talk about it. I mean, ground-up construction is also quite challenging.
Yeah.
Especially where we play.
Absolutely.
On the luxury and upper upscale segments of the business.
So let's just get into that right now.
Okay.
What is your guys' philosophy when it comes to new builds versus conversions? Obviously, new builds, very tough to do right now because of all the headwinds, whether it's construction costs, labor costs, tariffs, inflation, interest rates, all the above.
So I'll back up for a second because I don't know how much of your audience would know about Virgin Group. I mean, obviously the brand, everyone knows the brand, right? We think one of the most recognizable brands in the business.
Right.
We've got, this is always surprises some people, we have 50 million customers that kind of touch our various companies, 40 companies, 60 or 50,000 employees, I think over 50,000 employees. We are big in various verticals, 6 verticals. One of them is travel. One of the most important is travel. Voyages, which is our ships. Virgin Atlantic, which everyone knows, which is our airline. And Virgin Hotels, which I know we'll talk about. So we also got the spaceships with Virgin Galactic.
Right.
And we're definitely dabbling on the train side. So it's an active vertical
all over the
for
place.
us. Yeah. So when you get into where do we see opportunities and some of the challenges, we've got a lot of interesting things happening on both brand sides. So Virgin Hotels over here in the U.S., 2 of the largest urban what I would call revitalization projects in the U.S. One is in Atlanta and one is in Denver.
Yeah.
We're at the center of both, so we're really excited about bringing Virgin to both those markets. Atlanta, to start with Atlanta, it's Centennial Yards, it's downtown Atlanta.
Yeah.
2 great partners with CIM and the Drew Company, both of which we've known for many years. This is a hotel that's actually built. We'll get in and it'll be open in a little over a year.
Yeah.
And we'll have it open, ready to go for the Super Bowl in 2028.
Perfect timing.
Yeah. But that one is a great example to find it's a new development, new construction, but great partners. And great, very exciting for us to bring Virgin into that market. We've had the Delta partnership with Virgin Atlantic for, I think, 15 years, and we fly over 300,000 folks into that market. So we're really excited about bringing Virgin to Atlanta. Another great one is in Denver, also ground up, new construction, Fox Park, which I don't know how well you know Denver. This is the
Don't know it well.
This is the old Denver Post. 40 plus acres, another $4+ billion redevelopment of that area. Really exciting for the city of Denver. Exciting for us, another great market to bring Virgin to. And we've been working on that with our partner there, which is Pure Development and Interland for over a few years. Bringing that. Be office, it'll be multifamily, it'll be entertainment.
Wow.
It'll be Virgin Hotel right at the center of all of it. So those are 2 very exciting urban hotel projects that we're working on over here. You were asking about conversions.
Yeah.
It is challenging with a brand like ours because we are a heavily curated brand.
Sure, right.
But in today's market, you gotta be a problem solver. You gotta be creative. You gotta think about how you work with partners. So we took over a property there in Shoreditch in London.
Okay.
So kind of our flagship first property in London.
Yeah.
And obviously strategic for all the reasons you know. We're
Right.
based there. And so we opened that property a little over a year ago.
Okay.
So excited to bring Virgin to the London market. So those are kind of our 3 recent exciting projects that we've been working on.
Yeah. So when it comes to new builds, sounds like it's very dependent on the market itself, and then also having the right partners to go in on it with you.
Yeah, I was just talking about it in my panel. So I mean, really, it's easy to make it complicated. It's not that complicated. There's really 4 factors. I call it the 4-legged stool. If you don't have one of the legs, the stool's going to fall down. So you got to be the right product. Our brands are different. Virgin Hotels, Virgin Limited Edition, a very different product for each of those brands. But you got the product, you got the market. We got to be in the right markets. Typically, where we fly and sail out of, those are the strategic markets that we start with. Obviously, where demographics are in our favor, and where the Virgin brand resonates, those are markets that we look at.
Yeah.
So you got product, you got market, you've got owner partner. That's probably the most important. I mean, we think like owners. We're big investors in a lot of our properties.
Yeah.
But we want to be sure as we scale the brands that we have the right partners that we ideally are doing more hotels with. It's not just one hotel. Ideally, we do a couple, 2 or 3 with them.
Right.
So having the right owner, having the right partner that's with us, and then of course the right terms that work for Virgin. We are a brand and managed. We manage all of our properties with the exception of one. And so it's important that we have the right projects. So that's kind of how we approach it. But the conversion in London, hopefully, we will do more. It's very competitive.
Yeah.
Everyone, when ground up development slows, it's supply and demand. Where are the opportunities going to be? It's it's going to be repurposing existing real estate or reflagging hotels.
Yeah.
And that's quite competitive when
Sure
you're going
it is.
up against some of the bigger publicly traded companies.
Right. So you mentioned the new properties in Atlanta and Denver coming next year. Are there any other markets that you are targeting specifically, or can you just go into a little bit more detail in terms of what the ideal market looks like for you guys?
Sure. I mean, I'll give you some examples. I mean, I was just talking to you again about our development strategy. Again, not too complicated.
Sure.
If we're flying in there and we're sailing, we're bringing in people. I'll give you a great example. Orlando.
Yeah.
We fly. I think it's our number 1 source destination where we bring in folks from, and I think the numbers are close to 1 million passengers a year that we roll in there, and they go stay with all of our competitors.
Someone else, yeah.
So ideally, we would bring a urban resort program to the Orlando market. So that's an example of one market that would be strategic to us, and we've got some opportunities that we've been working on down there. Miami's another one. I mean, our terminals down there. We fly. It's hard to miss us in Miami, and obviously all the growth and what's going on down there.
Yeah.
So the fact that we fly there, the fact we sail there, that's a key strategic market. Mixed use, very important. Branded residential, which we can maybe talk about later.
Yeah.
Big part of my background. Been doing it for a long time. I think the Virgin brand resonates when it comes to branded residences, and so it's finding the right partner, right location. Miami would be a perfect place for that. Yeah. To bring the Virgin brand to branded residences. So that's something we've been very focused on. Other markets, LA is a great one. We fly, our ship, sails there, so that would be a place that we're very focused on. It's a challenging market today. But we think like contrarians, so I mean, now's the time to kind of get in there and figure it out. So looking for conversions in a market like LA would be a focus of ours. San Francisco would be another one.
So a lot of coastal cities.
A lot of coastal cities, yeah. But I say that Austin, big market for us. We'd love to be there for all the demographic reasons that you would know. Again, I think the brand would resonate there. Yeah. We've got Kansas City. We've got an opportunity that we're looking at. So. There's opportunities in the heartland. I'm a Chicago native, so I'm all about the heartland.
From Cleveland, Midwest.
There we go. I married a Clevelander.
There we go.
Yeah.
So we've heard a lot at the conference, at least I've heard a lot at the conference about consumers' need for travel and experiences. Obviously, Virgin's properties play well into the whole experiential travel trend. Is this just a trend, or is this kind of just how the industry is now in 2026 and moving forward?
That's a big question there. I mean, we've been doing it for, Virgin Limited Edition, which I haven't spent a lot of time talking about. That's our other brand. That goes back 25 years with Necker Island and Ula Saba in South Africa. That's all about experiences. And that started with our founder wanted to take his family to these locations and places. And so it is all about creating those memorable experiences, and a lot of it is getting there, the whole arrival, and what we do there. Community is a big part of those properties. They're all tied into the community with charities that we work on, and also environment and sustainability is also a key component of that. So that is something we've been doing for a long time. I do think it's become a kind of a buzzword in the space.
Sure has,
no question about it. So you got to make it authentic. People got to believe that it's sincere. And I do think that goes to the DNA of what the Virgin brand's been all about since it started. So it's not something we have to prove. We just got to execute on it. And that's something that we focus on. And that's, again, why we manage our properties, because we really want to control the curation of that.
Sure. So you mentioned branded residences earlier. What's the opportunity that you see there?
So that's an interesting one. So branded residences, it's been around for a long time. It started obviously in the luxury space with all the traditional guys getting into that. My old background, that was what I was doing. And so now it's kind of proliferated beyond that into even, upper upscale and even in some cases mid-scale. We're very focused, again, bringing it to our two brands. We're not going to do standalone residential projects. We're all about combining it with the hotel. With a Virgin hotel, and most likely it's going to be an urban tower. Be stacked, or maybe a podium and hotel on one side, residences on the other. You get the synergies, obviously, for a hotel owner, which is how we think. You get the synergies of being able to leverage the residences, the services to the residences from the hotel. You get all the boosts to the amenities, the food and beverage, the spa, the wellness. So you get a much more attractive asset with the hotel. And if done right, with the right premium on the branded residential, we think a faster absorption rate. The product will sell faster because you're leveraging the channels of the hotel. The developer, the owner of the project, does, quite frankly, much better than if they had not branded and affiliated. So I think for us, the opportunity is taking the lifestyle space, which I think is a little bit more embryonic than the traditional luxury. And how do you take the Virgin experience and bring it into a branded residential product? And that's what I'm excited about. And I look for us, because I think you'll see some announcements. I also think there's a huge play in what I would call white space in the for rent product versus the for sale product. Multifamily has traditionally been a vertical that hasn't really had the branded component come over to it. We think there's a big opportunity there. So a little bit less crowded, easier to differentiate. The challenge there is just getting the capital partners on board. Because we think we can generate a typical premium to the for rent. Just like we do, like what you've seen from luxury players on the for sale side. So look for us there, because I think you'll see us in that space.
You've heard it here first. I feel like you've been, just in general, been hearing a lot more about branded residences, especially the big hotel players. So makes sense that you guys would be trying to dip your toes in
because we were talking about the challenges of new construction. The only way you can really develop, it's really hard to develop a luxury product with the cost escalations that you're seeing without a for sale component. For all the reasons you would know. It just lowers your basis and you get a more attractive hotel.
Figuring new ways out.
So it helps us by having the tool in our toolkit. It helps us obviously develop and grow.
Okay, Greg, those were all the questions I had. Thank you so much.
Okay, appreciate it, Trevor. Thanks for having me.
Hi, I'm STR's Isaac Colazo.
And I'm CoStar's Jan Freitag. And together we are the data geeks behind Tell Me More, a hospitality data podcast work.
Every month, we bring you a fresh take on the latest hotel data, insights into the travel trends behind that performance, and the big picture topics you should be thinking about.
And we also don't mind getting into some good-natured disagreement from time to time. Hey, when Isaac and I start talking data together, anything can happen, and it usually does.
Subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you like to listen.
This episode of the CoStar News Hotels podcast was recorded on June 2nd, 2026, and edited by Trevor Simpson. Visit CoStar.com/hotel news for the latest industry coverage, and look for all of our podcasts on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, or your platform of choice.